What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak your mind, sports talk. All right, check it out, man. It's the odds predictions and odds show. Got my man, my partner, Gun Rights,
What it
up
do?
here with me. What's up? What's up? All right, guys. So we're gonna get it in because the first game started one. I do apologize for being a little late, but let's go ahead and crank this up. So the first game on the card is the Lakers. I'm sorry, the Clippers versus the Blazers. Now, this one opened up at minus 5.5 with the Clippers, but we seen a move in that line there. That thing quickly shifted to Portland, and they got a lot to do with Beverly being out. I'm pretty sure that's got because he's not going to play tonight. So they know they're going to need that defense. With those two guards, McCollum and Dame Lillard, with Beverly being out, that's a big hash. You already got Montrezl Harrell down, so that's no good. And I think that's why the line shifted on that game there.
Somebody told me that Leonard is out too. Leonard is gonna sit.
Right. And see, when it first opened up, I got excited. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is probably a chance for somebody to make some money. And I wish I had done the show earlier because if you had gotten the bet in, you could see now. As soon as I seen it when it opened up, I was like, holy hell, no way, because they just played Kawhi Leonard for 38 minutes in that last win over the Dallas Mavericks. No way Doc Rivers is going to play Kawhi Leonard for high minutes in back-to-back games. He's going to be on minute restriction this game. They're not even going to they already pretty much got their foot set in the playoffs, so they're not going to take that much risk with Kawhi Leonard. They're going to save him for the playoffs, right? So 38 minutes in a win over Dallas, you got to imagine Doc Rivers is not going to take that chance with Kawhi Leonard. So when it opened up, I was like, wow, this is a chance to make some money. But now, like I said, that line's moved and it's -3 Portland. So pretty safe bet. Portland probably want to throw that in on the parlay. I would go over that 231 though. I do believe they're going to go over that 231. Outside of that, that's what do you think? How you think someone could possibly make some money on that game? All right.
I would say go with the money line, Portland. You feel me? The Blazers money line. That's the safest bet on that one. Being that the line shifted like that, and like you said, Beverly is going to be out and Kawhi might not play. That's kind of like a up in the air game, but just a safe bet to me is to take the money line, Portland.
Got you. All right, guys. So get your bets in on that because that game again starts at 1. The rest of these games here, you got some time to do your research because they start a little later. But again, that game is at 1 o'clock, so you probably want to go ahead and get your bets in on that one. All right, so the next game was the Lakers and the Pacers. Let me see here. Is that right? Lakers and the Pacers. Yeah, Indiana. Now, this one opened up Lakers -8. Right? Okay, and then this shifted. This one shifted. But the line moved.
I see it at 6 right now.
At 6 is 5.5 where I am. But even still, guys, this is an opportunity. We go with the dogs in this game, okay? We go with the dogs in this game, and I'll break this down a little bit here. First off, LeBron, Dwight, Caruso, and Anthony Davis are all game time decision, which means what? All of those guys are feeling the pain to start this game. Listen to those names again. LeBron, Dwight, LeBron James, Dwight Howard, Alex Caruso, Anthony Davis, all of them. Okay, guys? So they're starting this game with issues. Second, the Lakers have clinched their spot, bro. Basically, they're done. They've clinched their spot. So the level of importance in this game to the Lakers is minimal right now, right? And you got all of these guys at game time decision. So you have to believe the decision may be to play them, but not be to play them too hard. Okay. And
Right.
I don't understand why the bookies see this as Lakers opening up was madness, but even 5.5, that's crazy. Here's another thing. Even when the Lakers, these Lakers that are, as I said, injured, even when they've been on the floor, they're shooting horribly from the 3-point line. And I mean terribly. They're shooting around 23% since they've come back to the bubble. Now, when we look at the Pacers, their only loss since the bubble started, they was undefeated, was to the Suns, who was another undefeated team. And they're hot. You understand? So the Pacers are hot. And the Pacers shot themselves in the foot in that Suns game because they had control, but they kept jacking up threes while they had control, gave up control, and jacked up threes to try to get back in it. But they weren't going in from the 3-point land, so they should have transitioned that game. But outside of that, it was a pretty good game until they lost control of it. But with that being said, they are one of the 3 hottest teams in the bubble since this has started again, which is the Phoenix Suns, the Toronto Raptors, and just the Phoenix Suns and the Pacers just faced off. So Lakers are not playing well, in my opinion. Yes, they're the favorites for the playoffs, but this is the bubble we're talking about. So, guys, go for the dog. That's my opinion. The 220, I don't think, let me check again because when they opened up, they didn't have any points. You got any points there on your side? Oh, 16. So I would go over on 216. I think they'll get over on 216. I had set my limit at 220, and that's before they put points down there. So I think y'all safe at over on 216, but definitely underdog. How would you suggest they make some money on that there, gun rights, with that info?
And also the Lakers is 1-4 against the spread. So they ain't been doing pretty good against the spread. So definitely the under taking the points would be the smart move. And I believe that they're like 2-3 overall. So they haven't been playing period good, like at all. You feel me? Since the season
Yeah,
started.
but let me give you some insight on why I said take the over, because I see you went a little different there. Well, now, guys, take it. Gun rights here is the professional when it comes to the betting side of it. But I just want to get some insight on the analytical side. And I think that even in a loss with the Lakers, right? If they lose, the team, if they're offensively inclined like that, they're going to put up a bunch of points. So in Lakers losses, you're looking at them putting up 96 to 100 points. I think that the Indiana Pacers in that case are going to cover. You understand what I'm saying? They're going to jack
Right.
points on the Lakers. Or it'll be a close game in the end, which they'll both have over 110, 115. You understand what I'm saying? It's going to be one way or the other. So that's just my idea. But you guys listen to gun rights when it comes on the strategies.
Yeah, I'm gonna always try to give them the safer
Right,
bet, which is like I said, take the points if you're gonna take anything on that game. I mean, D got a better outlook on the overs and unders than I do. I don't really mess with the overs and unders too much because you never can really expect if a team is gonna come out blasting or putting the ball in the hoop. And like he said, they have not been shooting very well with the threes. So
Not at all. Not at all. All right, guys. So there's your advice from my man Gun Right, Speak Your Mind Sports Talk on that game. Let's move on to the next game, which is the Utah Jazz versus the Denver Nuggets. All right. So, in this game, guys, and shout out to my man Anthony L in the building, Kerm in the building. What's good with you fellas? All right, so the Utah Jazz opened up at -1. Current it shifted to -1.5 for Denver, which makes more sense. I couldn't see why Utah even opened up at -1. Well, this is a close game for a reason because people are unsure about the Denver Nuggets, which I'm not at all unsure about the Denver Nuggets, and they're going to be a problem in the playoffs. Trust me, when the playoffs start, guys, you guys start making your wagers early and often on the Denver Nuggets. Trust me on this. When the playoff starts, because I see how the bookie's been treating the Denver Nuggets. So you guys take this in the future. When the playoff starts, bet early and often. That bet the hell out of the Denver Nuggets coming in this first round. Trust me on this, because these guys are going to light it up. Here's the thing. I see why the line shifted, and it should have shifted. But Donovan Mitchell, he's pretty much, he's pretty solid for his team, but for the most part. But the rest of the team, no, not so much. That's one thing going with the Utah Jazz. The other thing is the only consistent team ball I seen these guys play was against the Memphis Grizzlies. But that was after the Grizzlies losing Jaren Jackson. So they were consistent in that game, but the Grizzlies lost their second best player. So think about that. The other games that they've not been consistent at all. The Utah Jazz. Okay, the Nuggets shot over 50% from the from the 3-point line and the floor, and the loss to the Blazers. Let me say this again: they shot over 50% from the 3-point line and from the floor against the loss. Versus that loss to the Blazers. Turnovers was the issue for the Nuggets in that game. Now, guys, they did this without Gary Harris, without Jamal Murray, without Will Barton. This is what they did without these guys. Michael Porter Jr. is on fire. So when the playoffs come and these three guards return, I don't know if the bookies are going to account for that. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But if they're still showing Denver Nuggets no love, I'm telling you guys, jump all over that, because Michael Porter Jr. is coming into his own. And the biggest key in this game is why I know Denver is probably going to scoop this one up. Donovan Mitchell's out. He's not playing this game, so that's huge. So I don't know, 1.5, I guess they know that Donovan Mitchell's not playing, so pretty much this game's over with. Looking pretty good over on that 221 too. They'll go over that, in my opinion. But tell them what you think with that info, how to make some money on this game here. Go right.
Yeah, I would probably bet the over. The game is a little bit too close on the point spread for me, but I love the Nuggets, man. I love the Nuggets. They've been winning me money. So if you had to put a gun in my head, I would say pick the Nuggets. But like you said, Donovan Mitchell, he ain't playing out there. So if you want to go on a safe bet, I would pretty much go with the over. But as far as the team against the teams against each other overall money line, I would just go with the money line on the Denver Nuggets. If I was to have to pick a line or a money line, but the over seemed more legitimate because I know that both teams is gonna put up good points. And like you said, 50% on the field and the 3-point. Yeah, you can't argue with that.
Right. No doubt. Okay, guys. So you heard it. You heard it from my man Gun Rights. Get those tickets in. My man Champ.
One more thing I forgot to say. I didn't mean to say that Kawhi was out. I was just meaning to say he's going to be out for the majority of the game. I think they're going to sit him for the majority of the game.
Right. He's going to be under heavy minute restrictions. This is my assumption, because I just can't imagine Doc Rivers playing him for that many minutes in back-to-back games. He played 38 minutes in that win. And that tells you what it's going to take for those guys to get over in the playoffs, which should give you guys a question. Can they make it? Because what if they have games that go to 7 and such? Can, that load on Kawhi Leonard, that's something to think about. All right, guys. So, and shout out again to my man Champ Ross that stepped in the building. All right. So the next game, Miami Heat versus the Phoenix Suns. And I'm telling you guys, on the open, I need to probably do these shows earlier, right? Because I was like, oh my gosh, I called my son. I said, this is dog Saturday. But as you guys can see, the line has shifted on these opens like the whole time. If you guys could have got bets in early, I was like, this is underdog Saturday. What the hell is going on? Because this Miami Heat versus Phoenix Suns game, the Heat opened up at 2.5. I was like, what the fuck? How could the Heat open up at 2.5? Now, here's why I say this, guys. Miami Heat will probably most likely be playing without Jimmy Butler and Gordon Dragic. Now, when you look at Kendrick Nunn on the opposite of Gordon Dragic when he's on the bench getting a rest, remember Kendrick Nunn starts the game. He's not been playing well. Kendrick Nunn has not been playing well at all. So I was wondering, with Jimmy Butler out, offense, guys, offense is what I'm thinking here. Jimmy Butler out, he offers great offense and defense at that level. Gordon Dragic, offensive minded, and he's a solid guard, right? He's out. How the hell, with the most efficient offensive team in the bubble right now, the Suns are lighting it up. How the hell could they have opened up at minus 2.5 with Miami? I got to start doing these shows a little earlier, but my partner here is out in a different time zone, so we can't get with so early. But I swear, man, if I could have got that information out, people would have made money. But anyway, they have shifted the lines, guys. So somebody must have got wind of what I knew when I woke up and looked at this, and they shifted the lines. So the current now has shifted over to Phoenix at 1.5, which I still think that's too close because I think Phoenix is going to beat Miami pretty good. 224 is definitely safe to go over that because Phoenix has been lighting it up and Miami's been putting up pretty good numbers as well. I think 224 is low in that game. Again, Gordon Dragic and Jimmy Butler's out, so it's going to be a little lack of defense there as a defensive unit for the Miami Heat. So you could imagine that the Phoenix Suns are going to continue to do what they've been doing, jacking up a lot of points, right? And again, Miami Heat's going to be right in there with them because they're very competitive. Even without Jimmy Butler, this is not the first time they played without Jimmy Butler and Gordon Dragic and still competed. So I think that 224 is kind of low for this game. But definitely I'm going to go with the Miami Heat. Easy pick. I said when I wrote this down, I said easy pick, underdog, make some money, but that all changed. So with that info, how would you suggest they get their money on this, Don Rights?
Well, I like the Suns in this game. I don't know why. I mean, Rubio and old boy, they've been pretty much, doing their thing, and they hot right now.
Right. Yeah, I'm with
Suns
you.
is hot right now, like really hot. I didn't even expect for them to be that good when the season reopened back up, but they really gelling. They got that chemistry down. So that's my pick is go with the Suns. If you want to for sure with that one, I would just, like I said, take the money line, the Suns, because it's pretty close too. So 1.5 is pretty much gonna make the money line really low. So I like the Suns in this game.
They definitely gonna cover that spread because that's nothing. They're gonna beat them by more than I would imagine 8 points probably.
Yeah, I like either the line or the money line, but just for I'm gonna always give them the for sure, bread.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, my pick is gonna be the money line because I'm still getting less than minus 130 on that game, or less than 140 if I believe that it is.
I just think that just so that you guys know, I think that you're pretty safe. I'm pretty sure you guys are safe either way. You decide to bet that because they're going to beat them by more than 1.5. It shouldn't even have been that close, and the Miami Heat should have never opened. So when they shift that line, I think that has a lot to do with why it's only 1.5 currently. You get what I'm saying? I think that had they started it off the right way, it should have started off probably, in my opinion, the Suns opening up at -4.
Yeah.
Right. And then if you make it because Gordon Dragic and Jimmy Butler is out, then you probably make a shift of another point. So it would be probably -5 at this point. But 1.5, I think you're perfectly safe on that because there's no way that I could even see them opening up with Miami. And I think that may be because they didn't have when that Gordon Dragic was going to be out. We already knew Jimmy Butler was going to still sit, but then the Gordon Dragic news dropped. So I think that shifted, but it should have never opened up with Miami, in my opinion, right? Even with Gordon Dragic in, I'm going to open up at -3 or -4 for the Suns.
Yeah, I
So
wish I would have caught that early because I'm telling you, that would have been a good dog if they was the dogs opening up. That would have been a beautiful
yeah,
pick right
well,
there.
actually, the whole freaking card, dog, the whole freaking card of games today would have, they were all dogs. And then they shifted, and you could see it. Like, I'm not just saying this, you could see it when I woke up and I looked at it. I was like, what the hell is going on? You know, Lakers were a dog to me from the beginning, and that's still a dog, guys. That card is still a dog, but every other card you see opened up. Utah opened up, Miami opened up, that shifted. And then this Phoenix I mean Miami opened up, that one shifted. Lakers opened up, but they were the dog the whole time. You see what I mean? Utah opened up, that shifted, and then the Clippers opened up and that shifted. So the whole card, if you woke up and put picks in, you would have made money right off the bat because all of them shifted over, right? From what I see.
Well,
So
we got some news in the chat. It seems that somebody said that Donovan Mitchell is questionable, so that just goes with what we was already saying. Like,
but even still, I say he's out still. Because again, they're gonna make the playoffs. You know, they're
right.
no, and we gotta understand, guys, risk over reward here, just like in boxing. Like these guys are going into the playoff. The only fight is for that play-in tournament. Most guys have their foot solid. Home court advantage doesn't matter. Matchups are the only thing right now that you really have to consider. There's no home court advantage. Orlando are at the skin of their teeth, and even if you consider Orlando, they're not playing at their stadium. They're all in that bubble. So you could consider Orlando home court advantage, but not really. There's no fans there. There's no energy, and they're not in their stadium. So home court advantage doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is positioning, like who you're going to play first. And a really interesting matchup on the West is the Lakers versus Portland Trailblazers, if they could get in at 8, because I think they have the potential to take the Lakers out. One of those upsets, maybe like Stephen Jack and those Golden State Warriors when they took Dallas out back in the
I
day.
think the chemistry is going to be the main key right now with
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Everybody is pretty much away right now, and like I've seen a couple of interviews, they were saying that we just got to get our chemistry back and adjust to us being able to play, us playing in the bubble. So whoever got the best chemistry right now, that's pretty much your best bet to put your money on.
exactly. All right, guys. So to sum this thing up with the Suns, like my man Gunright said, you said the money line, right?
Money line or the line, you right? Because it's like 1.5 that I'm looking at on my end.
Right,
But
right. That's where it is here too, 1.5. And then 224, they're over that, guys. I'm pretty sure y'all safe on that. All right. So the last game, they only have 5 today, but the last game is the Dallas Mavericks versus the Milwaukee Bucks. All right. Luka Doncic and KP, Kristaps Porzingis, they're getting into their groove, guys. But it's not equating to efficient gameplay at this point because of the other guys. Chemistry is still a little bit off in Dallas. But it is a good sign, a great sign to see the 2 stars getting into their groove. And they're definitely doing that, okay? However, remember, it's a 5-man squad. So those other guys got to get it together. It can't be some nights here, some nights there. The Mavs are not shooting the best from the 3-point line either. That's, although certain players on their team are shooting well, as a team effort, they're not. And when you get into these games where there's 20 percentile, 30 percentile, that's not going to cut it against these high efficient teams. It's just not going to cut it. And that's pretty much where the Mavs are right now. So, turnovers have been somewhat of an issue for the Mavs too. They had over 20 in a few games here. So that's a lot to have to clean up when you talk about facing the hottest team in the league, the Bucks. Okay. And the Bucks are in the situations where the Lakers are as well, though. They've clinched. They've clinched their spot. They're good, right? But length, guys, length tends to give Dallas Mavericks a problem. And this is my big thing here. The length. The Lopez brothers, Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, that length tends to give Mavericks issues. And so definitely I'm going with the Bucks. This was the only game that I didn't see as a dog. You know, I would have said the Bucks anyhow. They opened up at 5.5. They stood steady with that, at least on my end, and still 5.5. 232. I don't know if I would touch that guy's over or under, because that's going to really depend on, in my opinion, the other guys on the Dallas Mavericks unit. I would expect the Bucks to pretty much cover, but Dallas is, you can't tell. And we could get a game where you got like 225, 227, or they light it up and they could go over. But it's too volatile in my opinion. I couldn't call it, so I wouldn't give any advice on it from me. Maybe Gun Rights with that information could tell y'all what to do with that.
With what you just said right now, I would go money line Bucks, but then again, I would take the points with the Mavericks. You feel me? I would take the points I would take the 5.5 with the Mavericks, but I would definitely take the money line with the Bucks, just for them to win, you know, straight out. Because like you said, Dallas pretty much already clinched, so they don't need to really strain themselves out this game. But it could be close because the Bucks, they haven't really been covering lately. You know, they've been winning the game for sure, but they haven't really been covering. So,
and Giannis Antetokounmpo, guys, is competitive, so it's not going to be no sitting on the bench. I can guarantee you guys that you're going to see Giannis in this game. All right, so guys, 20 minutes until game time, at least for that first game time. One thing I'm gonna introduce here is gun rights. With all the information we have here, and I'll run it back to you guys real quick, just in case you forgot. Oops, sorry about that. Let me see, get this here. All right, so we picking the Bucks in this final game here. Suns against the over Miami. We went with Denver over Jazz, Pacers to upset the Lakers, and we got the Blazers over the Clippers. Gun rights, parlay wise, what advice could you give these guys as far as parlay on these tickets?
Well, like you said, I mean, pretty much you already got two underdogs, and as far as what I've been looking, it's been at least two underdogs, two upsets each day. So we already got our two upsets and we got our three favorites. So y'all might as well just go ahead and parlay all five of those like that. Just put your two underdogs on the ticket, and then put your three favorites on the ticket. But just make sure that your favorites, if you want to be safe, go with the money lines on the favorites. You feel me? Try to stay away from the points other than that Suns game because it's so close. So if you want to take the line with the Suns, you can go ahead and take that too. That'll make your ticket a little bit more fatter. But if you just want to for sure win, you know, go with those three favorites and go with the money lines, but just put a little bit of extra money on there just to increase that payout.
Cool. All right, guys. So y'all got it. Hope y'all locked all the information in. Take it from my man Gun Rights. And guys, the last prediction show, I don't know how you guys decided to bet the info, but Gun Rights and I only missed one game.
That's
one game out of 6, guys. So I'm pretty sure you guys found some way to make some money out of that. But we on a roll because the show before that, we were perfect.
Yeah,
so you're talking about out of 12 games, Gun Rights and I have missed one so far. Jump on it, guys. Jump on it. I'm telling you, this is going to be the dynamic duo. A lot of people don't know about us yet, but when they start cashing in those tickets, they're going to be in the chat. Trust and believe. They always say that the people that get in on something first are the ones that make the most money. So, y'all take it from my man Gun Rights, your man D. Jeffrey at Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. Let me see who we got in the building, who came to join us today. We got, of course, my man Gun Rights up here with me, but Anthony L., appreciate you. My man Kerm in the building, appreciate you. Champ Ross, my brother. Hey, Fantasy Boxing Prediction League. Make sure, Champ, put this stuff in the chat. Anybody on the boxing side, the Fantasy Boxing Prediction League. Listen, once you get in that prediction league, it gives you insight. Trust and believe it. It
Hey,
gives you
Champ Ross, you can't get on me too hard, man, because at the end of the day, man, it's still a gamble, man. But 12-1, that's a pretty good probability right there. We on a high roll right now. But like I said, man,
right.
the Pacers, they did come back that game. Like D said, man, they would while they was up, they was just doing too many threes. They should have slowed the game down and controlled the ball. But we
Yeah.
definitely on. We definitely on.
Hey, gun rights. Yeah, I did commentary for that game, so I was like right there, like I was watching the whole thing. But Champ Ross says, "Where you bet at right now, Champ?" I'm just giving the predictions and kind of helping people, try to win some money. I'm not really betting right now, but I'm going to be betting at. I think it's called Bovada. You know what I'm talking about? Gun rights.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And
Well,
where do
well,
you
D is
place your
betting.
bet?
He's just not putting in the bets, but I'm putting in the bets for D. So I bet with
Oh yeah,
William Hill and with the Westgate. So even if D don't put them in, I'm putting them in for him. So we up right now. We up. We only bet like $6 and we up 80. You feel me? So
that's right,
let's get
champ.
it.
12-1, 12-1 over the past two shows, guys. So listen up, man. This is the super combo here because I have the analytics and the insight on the games, but Gunrise has the strategies for the betting. He is a professional gambler. And I'm not just saying that. Bovada, yeah, that's it, champ. That's where I'm gonna be at. And I'm gonna start doing it for the fun of it, guys. And right now, just like Gunright says, he got me covered. That's my man. He got me covered. So we're in it, guys. We're not just giving you guys this advice. I want you to know that we're actually laying money on these bets too, and we're up. And that's what's important. You got to be up. If you up and on the betting, you winning. Eric Rosas, what's up? He says, I use Bovada. What do you think about Blazers -2 first half? Blazers -2 first half. I think to tell you the truth, let me see. I think what do you think about that? Because I think Blazers are going to pretty much control this entire game.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say too. I would just that 2 points ain't nothing. I will roll with the Blazers on that too. You feel me? The first half is pretty good because they're gonna come out busting. It's just how much they gonna let up if they is up towards the end of the game. That's pretty
Yeah,
much where it
closing
will
out.
come.
Yeah,
That's pretty
exactly.
much where it will come into play at the end of the game as far as the 4 points. But I still got I picked the Blazers to win money line already. So
Right.
that two
Yeah,
points
yeah.
is nothing.
Yeah, you're pretty safe on that, Eric, because they're pretty much going to control this game. Because Kawhi Leonard, Eric, let me tell you something. I don't care what the fans want in this. It's too much of a risk. And Doc Rivers is one of these, hard-nosed coaches like Greg Popovich. He's going to do what he's going to do. And I just believe that it's too much of a risk to play Kawhi Leonard for too many minutes after just coming off a third. Listen, Kawhi Leonard has a degenerative knee issue. This is not like some injury that he's struggling with. This is a degenerate. He's going to deal with this. This is something that he's going to deal with. So this minute restriction and load management is important for him. And he can't come off of a 38-minute game and put in for so much time. So I can just imagine the Portland Trailblazers controlling this thing all the way up until halfway of the fourth quarter. And we'll have to see if they're going to let the Clippers dig their way back in. That's how I see this game going.
But Eric, I would just, for sure bet I would just go with the money line, man. The first half shit, that shit is so iffy. I tried it and I wasn't that successful as I was on the overall game. But yeah, I would definitely just go with the money line Blazers if you want to be for sure. But if you want to take the gamble, it's not a bad pick. You feel me?
All right, so there you go from the pro, my man Gun Rights. So Champ Ross put the information up, guys. Prediction League, and like I said, for all of you gamblers out here, you get into the Prediction League, and there are some fighters you will not be aware of. But if you look at some film and do some studies, all of a sudden it'll start to click and give you some insight, and you can apply that insight to your strategy. So you guys check out the prediction league, and just like
That's crazy you said that. I told Champ Ross the same thing, bro. I told Champ Ross, I said, bro, I do not know none of these boxers. I will have to actually study these boxers that you be sending me because I don't know a lot of them. And that's the only way that I'm going to be able to get
But once you
good
do
prediction.
that, you start to get insight. And as a
Yeah,
gambler, you
most
like
definitely.
look at this and you're like, oh wow, no, that's not gonna happen. Oh no, wow, Vegas got it wrong. And then you guys start to understand. So it could be a good thing. And just like Champ said, it's free to join. And Champ gives out cash prizes for first place. He gives out cash prizes for the most knockouts. He gives out cash prizes for the most split and majority picks. If you hit those right, it's a blast, guys. And next season, he has even something else special coming, but I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. I'm going to let Champ do that. But I know about it because I'm right. I'm like one of those guys, what do you call, not Michael Benson. I'm behind the scenes, but I give you the valid information. See, I'm behind the scenes of the prediction league. I kick it with my man, Champ Ross, you know, give him any advice that he decides to take from me.
Now, when we talking about the big fights, that's where I come into play. That's where my winnings come into play. I think I'm like 7-1 on favorites, and I'm like 6-2 on underdogs. So that's on the big fights.
No. Don't do it. Now I'm glad you said that. So if Delorme is at 140, he should be. Jamal James is gonna beat that boy. Jamal James is going to beat that boy because Jamal James is two things people don't realize about Jamal James. His chin. Although he's kind of frail and linky, this guy has a good chin on him. And he controls the range very well. Now, Eric, if you think I know basketball, my friend, make sure you subscribe to this channel because I am a boxing head when it comes to what's going on in that ring. Do not take Delorme even at plus 140. That's not enough odds, bro. Jamal James is going to beat him, and he's going to beat him in a unanimous decision. He might even stop him. I'm not even Champ. I don't remember. If you remember what I picked for that fight in the league, you could tell Eric. But Eric, I know that I picked Jamal James. I've already picked in the prediction league. So do not take Delorme. That's my advice for you on that. Maybe I should start doing some boxing predictions, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
man, you gotta send me some boxing and some UFC tonight too, because
You can always just call me up and ask me, God, right?
yeah, definitely. I need about two matches tonight on UFC so I can mix them in my parlay and make my ticket better.
And we'll go over some of that, and I'll give you what I think about that after this show. But yeah, guys, so I'm glad you did ask that question. I'm glad you asked that question, Eric. But save your money on that Delorme bet. My guy, unbiased, likes Thomas Delorme as well, but he's gonna be upset. Jamal James is gonna. He's favored for a reason. He's favored for a reason. And if Delorme is plus 140, I really don't think that's enough, in my opinion. Jamal James is gonna whoop that boy. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, Jamal James is gonna whoop because Jamal James is
Sound
very
like a parlay.
He's
Sound
a
like
very
a good.
hey, do it.
Yeah,
Put me
I'm
down.
going right now. As soon as we get off, I'm about to go put him on my ticket.
Put me down. As a matter of fact, when we talk about these other fights, these UFC fights, we're gonna design a parlay ticket with that, with a couple of these NBA games today, along with those fights, bro. Because we're gonna definitely throw those two underdogs. So, guys, if you're in the UFC and in the boxing, listen to this right quick, and I'm gonna end the show. Parlay here, guys. A way to make a little bit of cash and not spend a lot, right? You can spend like $5 on this ticket we get ready to discuss here. And I'll just give you an example. We got two dogs that we gave you on this Lakers game today. Two dogs for sure. This Delorme fight that Eric just brought up is another one. Okay. Who else is fighting tonight? Champ, give me Morrell versus Allen. I'm not sure what the odds are on that. But give me two more. Give me two more on this ticket. Give them two more on this ticket, gun rights. We got our two dogs. We got The Jamal James fight, give him 2 more to put on this.
And then we got remember we had the 3 favorites too on NBA, so put them on there
But
too. And that's
like a different sport. Don't that increase the odds if it's different sports?
Yeah, it does increase the odds. I think I just put a play ticket on for like 6 or 8, and I think $2 paid out $3.75 or something like that. So
I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Here y'all go. I'm gonna give it to y'all right now. We're gonna get a good parlay ticket right here, right now on Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. We already got those 3 games, guys. So I'm going to the prediction league and I'm checking out my picks. All right, so here we go. We got the Jamal James pick, right? Morrell. Champ just asked about Morrell. Y'all could put Morrell on that. I picked 7th round TKO. It doesn't matter, but Morrell wins that fight. That was a good one, Champ. So we got Jamal James, we got Morrell, we got the 2 underdogs, the Pacers, and what was the other one? It was the Pacers. Well, it was the 2 safe picks. It was the Pacer game and the Bucks, right?
Yeah.
In the Bucks, Morrell, Jamal James, and what's the UFC fight? One of those UFC fights you was asking me about. We're gonna put that on the card. We're gonna give it to him right now.
I forgot who's fighting. You know, that's why I asked you who
I didn't. I got
picks on UFC.
To tell you the truth, it don't take long. UFC Fight Night. Let's go. What we got? All right. So this card is. All right. Here we go. Derek Lewis. Oh yeah. Okay. Let me see. We want a dog on this card. I don't see one. Well,
even if you give them some favors, just a matter of just the fact that you have a lot.
All right. Well, I would say go with Man, this is a good card, dog. I would say go with the first fight. I say Dariush take out Holtzman. Scott Holtzman, Dariush. Y'all just throw that fight right there on that parlay. Golden.
We just gave you our 7-teamer right there. 7-teamer, go throw $5 on there.
$5, golden. You guys, y'all come back. Everybody will be happy. So that's how we're gonna end this show. Everybody, Sporting Advantage, Champ Ross, Eric. Appreciate you guys coming through. Look, give them some closing thoughts, Gun Rights.
Man, like I said, man, just bet smart. You know, keep coming. We're gonna keep getting better, and we're gonna keep this thing rolling.
That's right. And win y'all a little bit of money. And y'all know how I always in this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.
Peace.